this is a very important thing. Right now, if we want to learn from the masters, we don't have to go to the baby boomers. Right now, we need to go to Generation Z. Right now, the one that tells me, well, you know, who's hot and who's not, is my daughter, Nina. Dave, how good is Maya also in selecting who are the super good YouTubers and who aren't?
I'll tell you how good she is. I was sitting there looking through all the best YouTubers and all the best gamers, and she stood behind me. She's 9 years old, and she started reeling off all the names of everybody. She was saying, oh, Mr. Beast, yeah, he's really good. And, oh, yeah, Dan DTM, he's brilliant as well. And she's just reeling them off. And I'm thinking, when did you watch all these things? How did you find out? But in their own world, of course, they didn't grow up watching terrestrial TV or even satellite TV. The idea of watching a whole program for more than 5 or maximum 10 minutes and being with the same people, unless you choose to, is horrific. Our idea of programming is completely different to them, but they know so much more about it as well than we do. So we have to learn from them, and I do, but I still can't stand watching other stuff she loves.
Yeah, well, I asked Nina, and I said to her, well, you know, I am looking to emulate one of the best YouTubers just to know exactly the formula of how a correct YouTube should be made and how long should it last and whatever. And I mean, I just told her what I wanted, and then she told me, well, you know, you have to watch Amanda. I said, okay, Amanda. And then she basically shared with me this video. And on this video, we're going to basically be cutting it in 4 pieces. So make sure to grab a pen and a paper, because you're going to write down the exact formula of how to create YouTube videos that are watched. So I'm going to show you right now, Amanda, and then Dave and I are going to debrief each and every step. Have a look at step number 1.
Do you feel super awkward when you get on camera? Kind of like you're talking to a wall? You're not alone. A lot of people feel this way. The only way to get good on camera and to find your on-camera personality is to practice. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 different ways to practice speaking out loud so that you can build confidence on camera. I'm Amanda Hovarth, and I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs leverage the power of video without breaking the bank or taking up tons of their time. If you're looking to use video in your strategy this year, then be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I release a new video.
So it was exactly 43 seconds, and she basically mastered 4 incredible steps. So right. Step number 1, what was it? It was that we wanted to. She started with a question. Then, same as Dave said, she told you what we were going to be doing, and then she asked you to actually go and subscribe. 35 seconds, the first 35 to 40 seconds of your video, that's exactly what it needs to be.
Very true. And also then she started building a relationship with you. So by the time that she said hello to you, you then accept it, and then you start traveling with her into whatever the content's going to be all the way through, which is kind of impressive.
So super powerful. 35, 40 seconds, it's already set. Now let's go to video number 2. Have a look.
Do you remember when you were first learning to drive? I don't know about you, but I was personally terrified and worried that I would never actually gain the skills to be able to drive without somebody else in the car. Even just differentiating between the brake and the accelerator was confusing. Getting on camera for the first time is very similar. You are having to learn a new skill that at first feels very unnatural, but you are going to practice over and over again to where it's just going to come naturally. So similar to when you have a permit and you're first learning to practice driving, these exercises that I'm about to walk you through are going to help you develop the skills that you need to be confident on camera.
So there you go. She pulls a Tom Hanks. So what she does in effect is starts talking about things in a way that you go, oh, she's one of ours. Tom Hanks' entire career has been about playing characters that you really like, even if they're not really nice. But you just feel like the every guy is there. And I think she does that by telling a personal story, not a great story. You just warm to her. I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and it's a very simple metaphor that everybody will understand. Well, you know, I mean, have you ever felt that when you go the first time to drive, everybody will go back into that story? So she goes first. She introduces her topic. She says what she's going to be talking about, starts with a question, and then she goes into the building rapport. This is the building rapport segment on it. I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's a very easy to replicate formula. So we have the first 3 steps, then she builds rapport, doing pulling a Tom Hanks, as Dave is saying.
But it's a sales technique. It's basically saying, I'm the same as you. So when you go in to see somebody, you might walk into their office and say, oh, you're into fishing. That's wonderful. So let me tell you about my fishing. And all that was an old sales way of getting a relationship and getting rapport built with people by doing the stuff that they would think, oh, yeah, they might be special, but they're just like us. And some comedians and some film stars and some musicians are always on the talk shows because when they are on, they become really nice, normal people. Not the megastars you see on the big screen, but they identify themselves as, and it might be an act, as just being like us. And that's why we love seeing them on stage. People like Jennifer Lawrence, who just comes across as the sweetest person. Doesn't matter what she's like on stage, brilliant when she's being interviewed.
Exactly. So now what we're going to go is we're going to go into the meat of the presentation. Have a look.
Exercise number 1, talk out loud in front of a mirror. I know this might seem super weird to do, but I promise you it's going to feel awkward when you're in front of a camera as well. So you're starting to overcome that barrier of doing something that feels awkward, feeling confident while doing it. So just go in front of your mirror and just start talking about something. You could talk about a topic that you really enjoy, or you could just talk about some random story from your day. Exercise number 2, voice record. Anytime you are driving around on the road, what I want you to do is pull out your iPhone and open the voice memo app. If you use an Android, I am sure there's an app for it that records your voice. Just open that app and hit record. It doesn't matter what you talk about, just talk. When you do this, you're going to experience the pressure of time passing. You might feel this need to perform or kind of put on a show, fill the air. You'll kind of start to notice your personal patterns that pop up. As you do this, you're going to get more comfortable and you're going to find that your authentic voice starts to come out and you're no longer performing for the voice memo. This is a start to finding your voice on camera. And you're gonna literally be able to play it back and listen to it. Exercise number 3, home tour. This time, I want you to get one other person to help you. So they are going to hold up the camera and you are going to walk through your house and give a tour of the home. I want you to add personality to this. When you don't have pressure of needing to release a video, you might find that you get a little fun and crazy on camera, and that's awesome because that is the extreme of your on-camera personality. When you watch back this video, you're going to see things that you do like and that you don't like. Continue developing the aspects of your personality that you do like and just kind of let go of the rest.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say what she was saying is the ability to understand what you would become if you were a broadcaster and also practicing it so you get used to not being mic or camera shy. Because the reason that most people hate the idea of going on stage or most people hate the idea of talking to camera is they hate what they sound like and look like. So if you can get over that and not care anymore, then you can go ahead and do it, and that means you can do it on stage. So what she's saying is get practice. The other thing I would say is don't do it in the car while you're driving to get your phone out, and because that's how you crash your car. Because when you listen back to it, you're going to hear, and now I was, and that's not really a good start to your broadcast, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but the great thing is now she delivered 3 points because one of what many people want to do is they want to compress so much, and we have also been guilty of doing this. Just simply 3 points, and that was it. I mean, the video itself so far is about 5 minutes long, and she has already done the three steps, which are very easy for us to follow, and then we have to go into the very last step. So let's bring back Amanda so that you can see actually how she closes the video. Have a look.
And if you do film this video and want to show someone, then go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'd love to see it. Overall, you just have to have faith that you will eventually be super comfortable on camera. It just takes overcoming that resistance. So I hope you try out these techniques. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Instead of getting in front of the camera, well, I kind of said that in the intro, be able to feel the brake and the accelerator, or I guess the brake and the accelerator. See, I'm still struggling. I've said terrified so many times. I guess it doesn't matter. I need to stop overthinking it. Okay. Okay. There's evidence of your mistakes. Brake, accelerator. I did it right the first time. Yeah. So close. So close.
There we are. Putting it to bed with a call to action. Because if you built up that rapport with people and people are watching you and they're into it and so on, and when she says subscribe or she says then what you've got to do is this, it's like doing a presentation on stage. If you've been on stage for 45 minutes giving a keynote speech and then you just walk off without saying, find me on LinkedIn and Instagram or talk to me afterwards, or if you want to swap business cards, see how we can do business together, you've had a massive opportunity to bond with people and you've left all the good stuff on stage and walked away leaving it there. So she kind of did a great job of sharing with people. I would never do a blooper reel, but mind you, today has been a complete blooper reel, so I can't say that really.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting to see how also some of the YouTubers are using these bloopers to show it. And I think this is the whole point about what we are doing. Basically, just lose the fear, relax and have a good time when actually you're being on camera. Now, what I just couple of very fine distinctions on this last clip that we saw. First of all, she engages the audience by saying, well, you know, if you're going to be recording some of these clips, let us know, which is exactly the same thing as, for example, we were just talking a moment ago about Frank and his Boston accent. And here is Frank. Here is Frank telling us, well, brilliant advice. Correct practice makes permanent. That's great advice, Frank. Thank you very much. So we're basically, you know, acknowledging the fact that he was there. That it is also Dr. Yes is also there, and we're also seeing a few other people just also there giving us some messages. And she says, well, you know, if you record these videos, please share them with us. So she's already engaging the audience. And at the very end, you see that she has the blooper reel, but the blooper reel is in something that in YouTube is called the end screen. So she's actually being pulled out, and then the other are the recommended videos, which for me was one of the biggest learning points in now that I've been really doing a lot of YouTubing in our channel. And it is basically that, the whole thing of recommending other of your content to people. Because if you don't recommend other of your content, people do not know that you have all this content, and just people don't watch it. So now you know the formula. It's actually fairly simple. It's 4 steps. What do you think of this formula? That I was actually, I mean, isn't it amazing that this was recommended by Nina?
It's so fascinating because when we grew up, which was many years ago, there's only black and white TV because actually life was in black and white. And the idea of the stuff
when I was already born and there was already color television.
Okay, whatever, son. But I remember the stuff that we've just shared on the TV there, on the show, is something that was only known to the very elite of programmers and the very elite of presenters who would go on and they'd be the voice of calm, and you would literally, if you had a chance to see them in person, your jaw would drop because you're going, wow, magic. But now this is available for anybody. Anybody can create a YouTube channel. Anybody can talk about anything, and it doesn't matter what age you are. And it's so sophisticatedly broken down that whatever the age of the person, like Maya and Nina, 9 and 10 years old, they can have a full-on proper TV show, knowing everything you'd have on TV. Now, here's where the challenge is. Why would you want to watch proper TV if you don't need that content? If you can just watch what you like from the many people doing it on YouTube, then that's where most people live. And for people like the age of Generation Z, and for my daughter, she'll never have an interest in watching normal TV because it just doesn't work. But she'll have her own channel and she'll be on it.
So did you enjoy this content that we just shared with you? That I think it's awesome. We're going to be continuing with a lot of great content. So please support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you watch all the videos over here. There's 2 choices for you. Or, of course, I'm Dave Crane coming from Dubai.
And this is Ernesto Verdugo coming from Houston.
And I think we should send a message. Hold on.
What is this?
subscribe. Make sure you do, otherwise you're going to miss out on all the brand new shows, all the tips, tricks, tools and techniques, and you'll get none of them. And what's even worse is we'll have to get proper jobs.